Hello, wrestling fans. This is Sal Lasardo reporting in from Orlando, Florida. Hope you all are having a great week. This Sunday, January 31st, live on the WWE Network, is the first major pay-per-view of the year, and one of my favorite pay-per-views because it's the unpredictable pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble. The men's and women's Royal Rumble. The winner gets a title shot of his or her choice at the grandest stage of all, WrestleMania 37 this year. So this is going to be very, very exciting to say the least. And this kicks off WrestleMania season. So we're going to sit back and we're going to rumble. So these are my opinions only. They have nothing to do with Bill Apter or the WWE. These are just solely what I think may or may not happen and how I feel about the card in general. So hope you'll join me and the rest of the WWE Universe and tune in this Sunday for the Royal Rumble. Let's get right to the card and let's get right to the matches. There are a few matches with the Rumbles as well. Osaka and Charlotte Flair are the women's tag team titles against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Here's the thing here. I do not expect Nia and Shayna Baszler to regain the title. What I do expect here is that I'm going to start seeing some of the dissension between Charlotte and Osaka. And that we're going to start seeing some of that dissension. But they're not going to lose here. They're going to retain. How do you're going to get behind both? Because Charlotte's a heel, and Osaka's caught in purgatory right now because she's the women's champion, and and where has she really been defending it? The titles have been kind of, I haven't really taken to Charlotte and Osaka as tag team champions. I think we're all waiting for the inevitable that Charlotte wants to turn on her and maybe go after bigger things. I don't think Osaka and Charlotte lose here. I think at the Elimination Chamber, I think that's when they lose it, and I don't think it'll be to Nia or China. I honestly really hope that it's the Riot Squad. I really hope Liv Morgan and Ruby they get it. I really hope that they get the title, and I would really believe that it's going to happen at the Elimination Chamber. I think that's when they put the titles on the line. They lose, heads up Osaka and Charlotte lose. They're the last two teams of the Riot Squad, and lo and behold, this is what you have, and that's where the dissension will come in and lead to whatever that may come after. So, for the Rumble purpose, Osaka and Charlotte will retain, but I do expect them to lose it at Elimination Chamber. And I'd like to see the Riot Squad get the titles, and I think it'll be awesome for Liv and Ruby to finally get the belts. And I think they'll really make it more relevant and more exciting. So that's my prediction right now. But the Rumble, Charlotte and Osaka retain. Drew McIntyre and Goldberg. Now, a lot of questions about this match. Come on, Goldberg, and there's been a lot of stuff about this. And my thoughts is this: Goldberg is not getting the title. Okay, Goldberg is not going to walk out with the title. That's hands down. Goldberg does not leave with the title. I think this is just really because who are you going to have Drew feud with, and I don't think you want to give anything really away for the Mania. So I'm just saying I think this is just really for the card itself. I don't think there's anything long term here. Drew will hit a Claymore and will retain. I think Goldberg will lose clean. Surprisingly enough, I think Goldberg will indeed lose clean here, and Drew will hit the Claymore and 1, 2, 3. And where does it leave Goldberg? Who knows? Maybe this is the end, maybe it's not, maybe he comes back for another appearance, but I think this is just for the card itself. I don't think it wants to take away from the men's Rumble because you want to leave that element of mystery of who may walk out. So since Goldberg is not in the Rumble, it makes the most sense. I don't have a problem with it as long as Goldberg doesn't win the title. That's the only thing, and I don't think he's not going to. Drew is going to have the title into WrestleMania. The next match we have on the card is Roman Reigns with his sidekick Paul Heyman against Kevin Owens in a last man standing match. Well, Roman again is going to retain here, but that's not what we're talking about Roman retaining and going into WrestleMania. Kevin Owens and Roman are going to put on a heck of a match. You know, Roman's going to do everything necessary to come out, to conquer, and leave a champion. But really, Kevin Owens is going to put up a valiant fight. I mean, he always does. He takes a lot of sick bumps. A last man standing match, you know he's going to be flying all over the place and going off tables and, you know, wherever out in the arena. So I don't have a problem with it. Now Owens is going to go out there and he's just going to go make you go ooh and on. Oh my God, he's going to take a lot of these crazy sick bumps, and that's what Kevin Owens does best. I think it'll be a good match. It won't be stellar, but it'll be for what it is. I mean, the show is about the Rumble itself, and you need to lead up into it. And yeah, Roman's not losing. No, nobody expects that. But the quality of match, I think, will be fine. It'll be good. Roman's going to be champion, and he's going to take a few shots from Kevin. Kevin's going to get some offense in here, but he's also going to be on the receiving end of some stuff. And then at the end, Roman's going to hit the spear, maybe a couple of spears, and then Kevin won't be able to answer the count, and that'll be all she wrote. Now we have the Rumble matches coming up. That's what we know so far. And the two Rumble matches are going to take an hour or so. So 5 matches at the time of this report is likely what it's going to be unless it's a kickoff match. Let's start with the men. I'm going to start with the men. I'm going to say ladies last. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to start with the men. There's all this stuff online. We're talking about a death-defying ending and firing ending, all this other stuff. Does it mean that Randy Orton's going to set whoever's in the ring on fire? Is it going to be Bray Wyatt that's going to do all this? Look, I mean, and there were also people saying, well, we're talking about who's going to be confirmed so far, with Edge is going to be in, and, you know, you got Randy and Daniel Bryan, a whole bunch of people so far, they announced so far. Look, I don't have a problem with them announcing who's going to be in right now because the WWE wants you to tune in. Remember, we're in an epidemic, and this is not a live crowd. If this was live, we really wouldn't know what's going on. I don't think Edge would have came out and declared. But you want to see that. You want to know, okay, well, Edge is going to be in. Maybe John Cena is going to be in it. We know John Cena is going to be at WrestleMania. Maybe John Cena is going to be in the Rumble. I don't have a problem knowing because of the circumstances that we're in. And that's the whole point of it. We're going to watch anyway. But I don't mind if someone like Edge came out and said, yeah, I'm going to. I wouldn't even mind if John Cena said, you know what, I'm going to throw my name in the hat as well. I wouldn't have a problem with it because there's no live crowd. The WWE and the universe wants to know, well, who's going to be in there. And Edge coming out is a good thing. As far as a winner, I'm with the majority on this. A lot of people feel that Daniel Bryan would win it and go on and face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I'm with the majority. I'm going to say yes. I really believe that it would be Daniel Bryan would be my first choice to win it for sure. And I think him and Roman can have a nice build and a nice program for WrestleMania 36. I do not believe it's going to be Roman and The Rock this year. I think if we get Roman and The Rock, it may be next year. I think it might not be until LA. I think it'll be 2 more years down the line. I know a lot of people are saying it. I'm saying right now that I do not believe that The Rock and Roman will face this year. I think it'll be next year, but more likely in Los Angeles in 2 years from now. So at Raymond James Stadium, with about 30,000 people, 25, 30,000 people, I think this is a solid main event. Daniel winning against Roman. Daniel does not put on a bad match. I don't know if Daniel will get. I guess we'll get to that prediction as it builds if that happens. But I wouldn't have a problem with Daniel winning. Another person potentially winning. I'll give you another name to win it. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say maybe Bray Wyatt. Bray comes back because remember he went into this metamorphosis. Maybe Bray Wyatt is one of the entrants at number 30 or towards the end. And Bray Wyatt, when the lights go out, he's in the ring and he eliminates who's left. Maybe Daniel Bryan's one of the last people left. And maybe it is Bray Wyatt that wins the Rumble and challenges Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. I think that's going to be my sleeper, is that Bray Wyatt will be back. I know a lot of people saying, well, he has unfinished business with Randy Orton. That's okay because if Bray Wyatt somehow gets the belt off for Drew, they could still keep going with it. I don't think the whole thing with Randy and Bray is totally lost yet, and they could still have so stuff going on between now and Mania anyway. But my sleeper would be Bray Wyatt from the stuff you're reading online with death-defying ending and fiery endings and all that stuff. I'm going to go on a limb and say the sleeper would be Bray Wyatt to come back and win it. But my pick right now at number one would be Daniel, with Daniel Bryan. I think that would happen. And I do think that if Daniel even doesn't win it, it's very possible even up at the Elimination Chamber or something, if Bray does win the Rumble or Raw's superstar wins the Rumble, that Daniel may get a shot anyway. But I'm going to say Daniel's going to win it, and the sleeper will be Bray from Raw to get to maybe emerge. It'll be one or the other. Daniel first or Bray second. That's going to be my top two, with Daniel being number one. The ladies, the women, have put on some amazing Royal Rumbles. I mean, since the women have been involved, you have to admit they have really put the stops out. And I mean, how about Becky Lynch? I mean, what she done? I mean, you have the women going out there. I mean, I've enjoyed the women more than the men, to tell you the truth, the last couple of years that they've done it. I've truly enjoyed the women just as much. As a matter of fact, more so. And I think it gives you a chance to showcase the three brands with the women. If you've seen my rough cuts last week, I gave you the winner. I predicted the winner. I did a profile, a spotlight on the true badass of women's wrestling, who has not thrown her name in yet, but I expect her to be there. Rhea Ripley. She is my pick. I said she'd be my pick. I said it on the spotlight. Rhea Ripley is my pick to win the Women's Royal Rumble. I believe she'll be one of the entrants. I think she'll be towards the end, in the 20s, and I have her winning it. And I have her challenging Osaka for the title, or if Osaka and Charlotte feud sooner and Charlotte gets the belt, I don't think it matters. Rhea Ripley will challenge whoever the Raw Women's Champion is. I that's my one pick. That's where I think it's going. I don't think Rhea's going to SmackDown to challenge Sasha. I think if Rhea does win it, she challenges Osaka for the title. I think she goes after the Raw because there, like I said in my last, when I did the spotlight, there are plenty more challenges for her. My sleeper pick, my secondary pick for this would be Bayley. I know a lot of people saying Alexa Bliss. I have nothing against with Alexa, even if she emerges. I think Bayley would be, if it's not Rhea, it could be Bayley. Because Bayley wants her title back. And what better way to get a guaranteed title shot by winning the Royal Rumble? You're guaranteed a shot of your choice. She's not going to pick Osaka. She's going to go after Sasha. I don't have a problem with that. I would think that they would want to headline WrestleMania, the two of them, and I wouldn't have a problem with Sasha defending against Bayley. We still may get it, but I don't have a problem with Bayley winning the Rumble. If it's not going to be Rhea, I want to see Bayley win the Rumble. Becky's not going to be back yet, so Becky's still on maternity leave. I don't think we're going to see Ronda Rousey. I don't think Charlotte's going to win it. I I don't have a problem with Alexa, but I think Alexa's still entangled too much with this thing with Bray and Randy and stuff. I don't think Alexa's going to go through the field and or wherever she comes in, it's going to emerge. I said it before on my prior rough cuts last week. It's time for the future of women's wrestling to step up. It's time for Rhea to take control and grab the bull by the horns. It is time for the true badass of this company, of the WWE, Rhea Ripley, to win the Rumble and challenge the Raw Women's Champion, whoever that may be. If it's Osaka or Charlotte Flair, if they do battle before Mania and Osaka drops the title. But it is Rhea Ripley's time to shine. And if she's in the Rumble, I'm predicting she wins it. And I don't think there's any hesitation or doubt in my mind she's going to be in the Rumble. She is going to be there. I would hope that she wins it. And if she doesn't, I don't have a problem with Bayley. Those would be my two picks. Anybody else, I would probably question it. Even Alexa, it's either Rhea or Bayley, but I would hope that if you're going to build the future and really try to get this women's division headed in a better, more stable place where it needs to be, it starts right now with Rhea Ripley. It starts with Rhea Ripley, hands down. Nothing against the other women, but the future of the company is now. And what a way to build Rhea into WrestleMania season. She had one of the best women matches at last year's WrestleMania against Charlotte Flair when she dropped the NXT title. Remember, Charlotte won the Women's Rumble and challenged Rhea, and Rhea lost. It was one of the best matches of WrestleMania 36 over the 2 days. Now, in front of a live crowd, you get Rhea out there, either against Osaka or Charlotte. I mean, come on. Now this is money. This is money. And I think maybe Osaka's going to lose the title to Charlotte before Mania. And now you get a live crowd with Rhea. The fans are going to boo Charlotte. They're going to cheer Rhea. There's no doubt about that. And now you get the future of women's wrestling on the grandest stage of all. The future. Rhea Ripley. So I'm going to go with Rhea and with Bayley as a sleeper, maybe to Bayley if Rhea doesn't win it, Bayley to emerge and take on Sasha. Overall, we're tuning in to see the two Rumbles. That's what we're here for. The 30 entrants, we're tuning in to see the Rumbles. And the title matches below are basically going to be what they are. I think we'll have the women when they start it. I think we'll have the women go first. So I think we tune in. And I think the women will be the first match on the card. And then they'll have the other three title matches, and then followed by the men to finish it. I don't have a problem with that either. That's what I think it's going to go. I don't think the women will close the show. So I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I know there are no fans. That's okay. We're getting through this epidemic. But there's going to be 25,000 people at Raymond James Stadium or so. So over the 2 nights. So this has got to be done right. This Rumble is very crucial because now you're going to have live people in attendance this year as well. So you want to make sure whoever is going to win this, you got the right pick. And again, I have Daniel Bryan winning the men. I have Rhea Ripley winning for the women. For hands down, those are my two picks. So for this edition of Rough Cuts, this has been Sal Lasardo reporting in from Orlando, Florida. Continue to be safe. We're going to rumble on Sunday. Tune into the WWE Network this Sunday, January 31st, live at 7 p.m. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you will too. And as always, may all of your matches be a main event. Until after the Rumble, take care, be safe. Talk to you next week.